Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me when I'm falling. Cover up my scars, flip the handlebars. Crashing in my car, wake up in a bar. I'll be a superstar, just on my avatar. This world is so bizarre, empty out the reservoir. Yeah.
And this is completely filmed with the new Nikon Z8. Stay on, watch this episode, you're gonna love this one. But I know what you're thinking, hey, the Z8 is not that new anymore. True, we evaluated and we attended the launch of the Z8. Have you watched this video? Enjoy the launch here. But what I'm gonna try out today is this. We're gonna couple the Z8 with this impressive Nikon f1.2 and I'm gonna shoot wide open. I'm gonna do solely natural lighting. I'm not gonna use flash at all, and I'm also gonna test out the video handheld. You're gonna love this. And the model for this episode, the beautiful Kayan. So firstly, I want to say thank you to Futuromic for making this episode possible, for lending me the Z8. So viewers, visit Futuromic's website if you love photography. We're gonna start our shoot in Taman Tugu, a little park near the National Monument. And it was raining just right before this. That's right, that's not my sweat, that was the rain on my back. The first thing I'm gonna do when I get hold of a new camera is to do these few settings. First one, set it to manual mode. Secondly, I'm gonna turn on auto ISO. I'm gonna put ISO 800 despite the auto ISO. And then I'm gonna use f1.2 all the way. And next, my white balance. I'm gonna choose Kelvin. The first test I'm gonna do is gonna see how well the exposure meter behaves with backlight. And speaking of backlight, you need to go onto your Nikon to turn this on. The active delighting. I'm setting this to high. What it does is it suppresses the background so that it's not so bright, and then it lightens up the subject's face so that you can see the face. And while setting up the Z8, I noticed a few changes to the buttons and the layout. Why did they move the play button over to here? I keep on pressing the lock button when I want to play back. Okay, so just come here, and this is not ergonomics. This should be it, but never mind. Yichong said it was switched because one hand usage. I couldn't move my thumb down. If you can, I like to watch your video. One of the best ways to get really stable shots is to lean on a pole or something. But if you're in Kuala Lumpur, you got to be really careful. When you see a lamppost like this, always check it for electrocution first, especially if it's been raining. See all these wires, and people tend to steal some things from the lamppost, and so this won't electrocute me. Okay. Yeah, this is a good test because the sun is there, it's bright there, and I still don't think that your face, wow, look at that dynamic range. I just love this, the way it handles the dynamic range. And here are the results. I would say the exposure meter is pretty accurate, and I just love how the background turns out. And I can still see Kayan's face very clearly. The exposure. And check out that lovely blurry background of the f1.2 lens. Yeah, eyes look straight. This is your nose. Your eyes must, whenever you can, try to be the same direction. Rather than that, yeah. And then just say, yeah, just a little bit, yeah, right. And I just love the foreground blurring of this lens. And I really love the auto ISO of this camera. This place, under the tree, can be quite dark. Okay, time to get out of the rain because it's starting to get really heavy. And check out how the Z8 handles the rain, like a champ. The weatherproofing is really living up to its name. And now we're gonna head on to Lalaport and test out the camera in a darker indoor. And I want to try out more of the camera's video features too. And speaking of Lalaport, did you watch this video? You need to watch this video. It's an amazing tutorial on photography with the lovely Cindy in Lalaport. And I've got to test out Z8's video in slow-mo, the fountain in front of Lalaport. This is what we get. Will this support a whole camera? Yes, it does. Look. The articulation is amazing. So you notice what I figured out is that it's so yellowish at the back that the white balance may go bluish randomly. That is because you're on auto white balance. So professionally, what I do all the time is I change this to Kelvin and lock it down at the number. So I'm at Kelvin now, I'm changing to 4760. and this is just perfect. Okay, are you good? And this is photo mode, and go. So I'm changing this to video. How about we really go high on 4K at 120p? Good. This is at 1.2. Shutter speed of 1/125. Okay, and roll.
6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this.
To be honest, I'm more interested to test out the camera's autofocus chasing Kayan as she dances around. And I must say it's quite impressive. It's quite easy to hold this camera in video mode with your hands.
So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face.
So I'm going to try out now how the camera and the lens handle low light and very different lighting color conditions. Let's even try out the picture control of this camera and see how it actually behaves, because in real life I don't get to play around with the picture control. The client would want all this to be done in post. I must say that I do not love all of the creative picture control, but I really do like some of them. Okay, let's go to somewhere else now. Oh, it's about 1/3. But I off it most of the time. And don't forget, when I shoot, I mostly shoot it through the viewfinder. So if I use the LCD panel, it'll probably be done by now. Okay, I can't resist to bring Kayan up to the roof garden and try out this shot with the Monaro 118 at the back as a background. We're gonna compare natural lighting with this camera and lens, and also flash. I know I said about not using flash, but let's see what we get this time. Because the background in this park is so amazing, and most of the time without using flash, you will not get great lighting at the back. And speaking of using flash, you want to watch this episode, where it's an extension of this particular episode. Enjoy this episode and learn how you can get soft light with nice background, despite the fact that you have nowhere to bounce your light outdoor. Thank you for watching. This is so degrading. When I watch other YouTube channels, they actually have beautiful waterfalls like this when they want to study and teach about shutter speed. Me, this is all I get. A drain. A drain fall. Oh, you know what? I forgot to press record. No, I'm kidding.